8. An outline of the essentials of Jodo Shu. In the present day, no way is superior to attainment of birth in the Pure Land of Amida Buddha for departing from the delusive worlds of samsara. No practice is superior to the recitation of Nimbutsu for the attainment of birth in the Pure Land. Upon departure from this ephemeral world, there are many gates for entering the path leading to enlightenment. These can be categorized into two major gates, the Holy Gate and the Pure Land Gate. First, the Holy Gate applies to the path of transcending delusions and realizing enlightenment in this world. The Holy Gate can also be categorized into two, the Holy Gate of Mahayana Buddhism and the Holy Gate of Hinayana Buddhism. The Holy Gate of Mahayana Buddhism is further divided into two, the Buddha vehicle and the Bodhisattva vehicle. The Holy Gate of Hinayana Buddhism is also divided into two, the Shravaka vehicle, the path to becoming an arhat through hearing the Dharma, and the Pratika Buddha vehicle, the path to attaining enlightenment through one's personal efforts. These varied ways are referred to as the four vehicles. However, the practices of the four vehicles are too difficult for us to perform today. Therefore, Master Tao Chao stated, in the present day, the teaching of the Holy Gate is an extremely difficult way to realize enlightenment. It would be meaningless to extrapolate here on the various practices of the Holy Gate. We should merely consider that because many years have passed since the death of Buddha Sakyamuni, it is difficult to comprehend the teachings of the Holy Gate in order to realize enlightenment. It is also a path unfit for us, delusive common mortals. Second, the Pure Land Gate teaches us the path to loathe and renounce this world of anguish and to be born speedily in the Pure Land. Birth in the Pure Land is achieved by the grace of the essential vow of Amida Buddha, who does not discriminate between good and bad. This birth is determined by belief or non-belief in the essential vow. Master Tao Chao therefore said, the Pure Land Gate is the sole teaching for the path leading to enlightenment. Hence, those who desire departure from the delusive worlds of transmigration should abandon the difficult Holy Gate and aspire for birth in the Pure Land through the easy Pure Land Gate. The Holy Gate and the Pure Land Gate are called the difficult path and the easy path. To illustrate, the difficult path is akin to traversing a treacherous road on foot. The easy path corresponds to crossing the ocean on a ship. The lame and sightless are unable to travel an arduous route, but the ship will transport them with ease to the far shore. It is as if our vision of wisdom is impaired and our legs of religious discipline are paralyzed today. There is no hope for trekking across the treacherous road, the difficult path of the Holy Gate. Only by the ship, the essential vow, are we able to cross the delusive ocean of samsara to reach the shore of the Pure Land of ultimate bliss. The ship we speak of is symbolic of the essential vow of Amida Buddha. This essential vow is, in ancient times, when Amida Buddha's aspiration to enlightenment was first awakened, when he renounced his throne to lead an ascetic life, he made 48 vows to establish his own Pure Land in order to save sentient beings. The 18th vow promised, if when I am to attain Buddhahood, all sentient beings in the 10 directions, who wish to be born in my Buddha land, who call my name at least 10 times, are not born there by the power of my vow, I will not realize Buddhahood. Amida Buddha realized his aspiration on the basis of the 18th vow and attained Buddhahood 10 eons ago. Master Shantao interpretation states, the fact is that Amida Buddha did attain Buddhahood and presently resides in the Pure Land. It should be known that his essential vow was not made in vain. If sentient beings recite his name, they will with certainty attain birth in the Pure Land. Considering the statement, Nimbutsu devotees who have faith in the essential vow and recite Nimbutsu should not have a shadow of a doubt in the attainment of birth in the Pure Land. Deeply understand the teaching of Master Shantao, believe in the essential vow above all, recite Nimbutsu with all your heart, and harbor no doubt in spite of attempts by distractors with different views to erode your faith in the essential vow. On this authority, you should recognize that the practices of the Holy Gate are beyond your capabilities. Abandon the Holy Gate, enter the Pure Land Gate, place your esteem in the essential vow, and say the name of Amida Buddha. A person such as this is called a practitioner of the Pure Land Gate. Thus, these are referred to as the Holy Gate and the Pure Land Gate. There is, however, one condition necessary for the practice of the Pure Land Gate. It is that one's faith and one's practice should be in harmony. Here, faith is called the steadfast heart, and practice the practice. The steadfast and practice the practice. The steadfast heart refers to the condition of the heart of the Nembutsu devotee who aspires to birth in the Pure Land. The Meditation Sutra describes, if there is one who aspires to be born in the Pure Land, this birth is attained by awakening the threefold devotional heart. What is the threefold devotional heart? The first aspect is the genuine heart, the second the profound heart, and the third the heart that seeks birth in the Pure Land through the dedication of merit. Those who embody the threefold devotional heart will be born in the Pure Land without fail. Master Shandao thus interpreted the first aspect of the threefold devotional heart. First is the genuine heart, Qi, Cheng, Cheng, Sin. The Chinese term Qi refers to truth and Cheng to the quality of being sincere. The author, with this interpretation of Qi and Cheng, would like to clarify that both understanding and practice performed by all sentient beings through their physical, verbal, and mental acts must be done with the genuine heart. Do not outwardly pretend to be wise, virtuous, and diligent, while inwardly harboring falsity and fickleness. One should perform these acts in the spite of sincerity, with a truly genuine heart, without regard to matters of the inner mind or outer appearances, whether they are visible or hidden. This is what is meant by the genuine heart. This means that the genuine heart is a heart filled with sincerity. Sincerity is not disguising one's inner feelings with the embellished facade when one acts, speaks, or thinks. When we loathe this defiled world of suffering and long for birth in the Pure Land, our outer appearances and inner selves must be compatible. We should not pretend to have sagacity while harboring unwholesomeness. We should not pretend industriousness while indulging in laziness. Master Shandao said, do not outwardly pretend to be wise, virtuous, and diligent while inwardly harboring falsity and fickleness. Regarding Nembutsu, the genuine heart does not claim to have repeated the name of Amida Buddha 60 or 70,000 times a day, when this is not true. Neither is it the genuine heart that dons a noble mien and recites Nembutsu in public without doing so in private. This is not to say, however, that unsavory thoughts should be exposed. In short, it is essential that we truly desire to be in tune with the heart of Amida Buddha, and that we have a sincere heart while making an effort to avoid matters that are unpleasant to others. Betraying our genuine feelings merely to avoid unpleasantness, however, surrenders the genuine heart. Whatever the circumstance, our genuineness should be steadfast, and outwardly there should be no pretentiousness in our actions. This is called the genuine heart. The second aspect of faith is the profound heart. Master Shandao interpreted the profound heart as follows. The profound heart is the heart of profound faith, which also has two aspects. The first is to firmly believe that one is a common mortal with worldly passions, whose virtuous roots are shallow and meager, and who does not possess the karmic conditions to detach oneself from the delusive triple realms, through which one has transmigrated for countless eons up to this day. The second is to have unshakable faith that Amida Buddha will embrace sentient beings with his 48 vows, and to believe that one who recites his name at least 10 times will with certainty attain birth in the Pure Land through the power of his essential vow. One must not harbor a doubt about this even for a moment. Hence, this implicit belief is called the profound heart. One who possesses the profound heart establishes decisively an unshakable faith, practices in accordance with the teachings of Amida Buddha, permanently excludes doubt and falsity, and will not fall back or be swayed by all of those who have different understandings, practices, teachings, and views, and misleading opinions. The meaning of Master Shandao's interpretation is that first, one must believe in one's own limitations, and second, one must trust the essential vow. He pointed out the first faith in order to establish the latter one. Another reason he mentioned these two aspects of belief in this is that, without first pointing out a person's limitations, those who aspire for birth in the Pure Land and who practice the Nembutsu taught in the essential vow will develop the worldly passions of greed and anger and live in fear of committing the 10 transgressions and the violation of the precepts. They could therefore feel hopeless and doubt the essential vow. In anticipation of the emergence of such doubts, Master Shanta pointed to the two aspects of devout hearts and said, although we may be common mortals with worldly passions, if we recite Nembutsu as few as 10 times or just once, with profound reliance on the essential vow, birth in the Pure Land will be assured for all. Had Master Shanto not stressed the reason for accepting that we are common mortals, we with mundane hearts would not be in accord with the essential vow regardless of how much Nembutsu we performed. We might also think that birth in the Pure Land through a single utterance or 10 recitations of Nembutsu is possible only for those flawless mortals who have no worldly passions or karmic defilements, not for flawed mortals like ourselves. When we are overcome with such self-doubt and are questioning the possibility of birth in the Pure Land for those of us with human frailties, instruction on these two aspects of belief fills us with elation. Those who are unable to understand the interpretation of Master Shantou may say that birth in the Pure Land is impossible for them due to their wicked hearts. This birth may eventually really become impossible for them, but it will be because of their doubtful hearts. Accept this interpretation. Accept this interpretation, and hereafter never question birth in the Pure Land through Nembutsu. There is no need to reflect on virtue and vice, or to discuss the gravity of your karmic defilements. Establish the unshakable faith that if you simply mouth Namu Amida Butsu, along with the aspiration for birth in the Pure Land, you will most certainly attain this birth through the grace of the essential vow. Because of this implicit faith, the karma of birth in the Pure Land will be generated. The attainment of birth in the Pure Land will be uncertain if you doubt this birth. The attainment of birth in the Pure Land will be certain if you believe in this birth. To put the matter simply, the profound heart is the implicit faith and trust, beyond a shadow of doubt, that if you deeply rely upon the essential vow, you will certainly be welcomed into the Pure Land, regardless of the kind of person you are. Nevertheless, we are admonished not to be impulsive in our actions as a result of misinterpreting the concept of non-discrimination. Master Shantou commented, with a genuine heart, abandon the 3 categories of unwholesome karma, but in turn nurture with the same genuine heart the 3 categories of wholesome karma. He further stated, respectfully distance yourself from and never willingly submit to unwholesome karma. Accordingly, make every effort to be free from unwholesome karma, and in turn to conduct yourself virtuously. Firmly believe that the essential vow does not discriminate between the virtuous and non-virtuous, and that anyone who recites the name of Amida Buddha will be welcomed by him. Believe also that his name has the power to nullify karmic offenses, and that a single utterance or 10 recitations will bring birth in the Pure Land. There should be no doubt in the heart of the Nembutsu devotee. Recitation of Nembutsu should not be limited to a single utterance, in spite of the teaching that a single utterance suffices to attain birth in the Pure Land. The true intention of the essential vow is that if you establish faith in Amida Buddha and recite Namu Amida Butsu for 100 years, 10 or 20 years, 4 or 5 years, 1 or 2 years, or 7 days, 1 day, or even 10 times, you will certainly be welcomed by him. As a rule, the upper limit of continual recitation is from the first moment of the awareness of Nembutsu until the moment of death. The middle term from 7 days to 1 day, and the lowest limit from 10 recitations to just a single utterance. Since Nembutsu has the compassionate power of Amida Buddha's essential vow, you must believe that you will with certainty achieve birth in the Pure Land with just a single utterance. You do not need to fix the number of Nembutsu in accord with the essential vow. Just continue reciting without interruption until the end of your life. There are some who sincerely aspire for birth in the Pure Land, depend on the essential vow, and recite Nembutsu diligently. They do not suffer in their last moments. This is because Amida Buddha comes to escort these Nembutsu devotees in their final moments in order to establish the rightly settled state of mind for birth in the Pure Land. If this is not understood, the devotee might think that he must repeat Nembutsu at the time of death with the rightly settled state of mind, and only then will Amida Buddha arrive to welcome him for birth in the Pure Land. This person does not truly believe in the essential vow or understand the lessons in the sutras. The sutra in praise of the Pure Land teaches, Amida Buddha embraces the Nembutsu devotee through his compassion and protects him from disturbances to his sincerity. Diligence in practicing Nembutsu in daily life causes the arrival of Amida Buddha at the time of death. That is, in seeing the coming of Amida Buddha, the devotee then is able to arrive at a state called abiding in the rightly settled state of mind for birth in the Pure Land. Regrettably, many people feel futility in the daily Nimbutsu and merely desire the state of abiding in the rightly settled state of mind for birth in the Pure Land at the time of death. These are extremely misguided thoughts. Those who believe in the essential vow must not have any doubt about their time for departure. Daily Nimbutsu should be recited with ever-increasing commitment. Was it ever stated in the essential vow that Amida Buddha will accept only one who recites Nimbutsu on his deathbed? The issue of birth in the Pure Land through Nimbutsu at the time of death is taught in the Meditation Sutra, which states that a person who has not aspired for birth in the Pure Land has lived a meaningless life. Still, such a person may have his first encounter with a virtuous teacher at the time of his death, and with this encouragement, recite Nimbutsu and nonetheless achieve birth in the Pure Land. Those with a fundamental belief in Nimbutsu do not need to discuss the matter of their death in particular. If belief in the arrival of Amida Buddha is unshakable, abiding in the rightly settled state of mind for birth in the Pure Land at the time of death follows as a matter of course. Hold this fast in your heart. The foregoing instruction teaches us not to be defeated by those who have different views and practices, and means that we should not forsake Nimbutsu, nor begin to question birth in the Pure Land, nor fall under the influence of those who study different teachings and observe practices different from our own. Those who follow different teachings are usually the scholarly monks of the 8 traditional Buddhist schools, such as Tendai school and Hasso school. Those who perform different practices are all the practitioners of the Shingon school and of the Shikai Tendai school. They study and practice the teachings of the Holy Gate. The instructions and practices of the Holy Gate are different from those of the Pure Land Gate. Therefore, they are called different views and practices within the Nimbutsu tradition. Incidentally, among the Nimbutsu practitioners, there may be a devotee who does not depend on the essential vow, who relies on his personal efforts, and who devotes himself to the recitation of Nimbutsu. How can this type of person attain birth in the Pure Land? There may be one who says that this birth, a matter of great importance, can be achieved through cultivating different kinds of merit, from practices other than Nimbutsu, serving Buddhas other than Amida Buddha, and combining these merits and services with Nimbutsu. He may also say that birth in the Pure Land is impossible if it is only through the reliance on the compassion of Amida Buddha. On the compassion of Amida Buddha. Even though someone questions birth in the Pure Land and tries to deter us with doubts by stating the above, we should not listen to him. I admonish you all that we must believe in the teaching of Amida Buddha, have no doubt in our heart, even for a moment, regardless of any deterrent, and never lose our absolute commitment to the assurance of birth in the Pure Land. Mr. Shantai went into detail to explain the rationale for not being defeated by others. The essence of his warning is this: there may be myriad Buddhas filling the 10 directions, emanating their brilliant light, and extending their tongues, saying it is a misguided teaching that birth in the Pure Land is assured through Nimbutsu for common mortals with worldly passions. You should not believe in this. Even though you hear this, your implicit faith in birth in the Pure Land must not even for a moment be swayed. This is because all Buddhas, with the same compassionate heart, save sentient beings. For instance, Amida Buddha planned to establish the Pure Land and vowed, if when I am to realize Buddhahood, all sentient beings in the 10 directions who wish to be born in my Buddha land, who recite my name,